Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Sorry for the lack of videos the last couple of days. I've been traveling up to the interior of BC. I'm in the car with Speedy Gonzalez. She's got a lead foot at times, guys. She's used to doing that motorcycle thing. Boom, 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 boom. But in these modern cars, that don't work so good. Okay, today we talk SRRV and A13 visas. So stay tuned for that. Hey guys, if you're liking the content, please like, subscribe.
And comment.
Okay, Lynn's off to work, but I'll get all the homework done here, make sure I've got my house in order, as it were. But a little bit of housekeeping to begin with. Please note that everything is based on US dollars, okay? And the other part of all of this is you have to be really careful on government websites in the Philippines. First, they don't always date everything. And second, they have a habit of not pulling down old, irrelevant pieces of information. I have gone on the Philippine website now, just clicking links from, say, Google or Firefox or one of those, and it takes me to some really old stuff. So be careful of that. The other thing is be careful of vloggers out there and bloggers, because things change too quickly. Right now, something new popped up in Google saying that the Smile SRRV is now canceled. I don't think so. So I've got to go back and do some quick research here, because the Philippine government did get rid of that young age retirement visa. Okay. You got to be 50 plus now. So let's see here. Oh yes. And the final piece of housekeeping is Lynn and I always suggest check with your local consulate, local Philippine consulate.
Right.
Many times, at least Facebook dates their stuff and you'll know at least when it was uploaded. But we have run into a number of things that are not dated. So be careful of that. And the consulate, at least the one in Vancouver, boy, they reply back nice and quickly. Okay, so now that we got the housekeeping out of the way, I'm going to let Lynn go to work, and then she's going to join us, and we will, after I've done a little bit of more research here, and we will get together and finish this. Yay! Now, the other woohoo is the woohoo is the we are 1 month and 1 day away from leaving. Yay!
1 month
Which means
to go.
This
Hello,
day,
Philippines.
1 month now, we will be packing because she won't be working anymore. Hoochie-coo, hoochie-coo.
He's excited, you know.
Am I slightly excited? But I'm also excited, guys, because our house build will be continuing soon.
Right. Yeah.
And I am eager to get back at that. If you remember, we are doing AAC block, not hollow block construction. And this is my first concrete construction build. I've only ever done wood frame. Okay, anyway, coming right back at you with Lynn.
Yeah.
And we will finish this up.
Yeah.
First up, Balikbayan. What is a Balikbayan? Besides the boxes we've been sending, what's a Balikbayan?
Okay, Balikbayan is in the Philippines, Balikbayan is a returning Filipino citizen. You can be an OFW, the overseas Filipino workers. You can be a spouse of a foreign national.
The Filipinos really like to repatriate their people.
Called
she keeps
Balikbayan.
Putting her foot on the camera. And she thinks she's a drummer, you know.
No, a pianist. Yeah.
Okay, so here's the kicker, guys. When you arrive at the airport as a Balikbayan, which I am now because we're married, as long as I have my marriage certificate with me and a piece of ID, I
am with him.
Well, yeah, I can come on my own with my marriage certificate and such with me. However, There is a risk that the immigration officer will look like this and say, there's too many people here. He'll stamp you as a tourist, and then you'll have to go down to the immigration office and sort it out there.
Right.
Rarely. Oh, other than make your wife go first to the officer. Okay, seriously, no, I'm not kidding. The times that I have gone first, he's so quick to get ready to stamp. Even though I put the message to stamp it as tourist, make her go first, and then creep in, and she can hang back a little bit. Because she's already been stamped into the country. Yeah. Just a hint, hint, clue, clue.
Right, because if the officer will see that you are going together and then you will let your wife, go first, he will ask, are you together? And if you'll say yes, then he will just call both of you and then he will stamp both your passport as Balikbayan.
So that's the shotgun.
Right.
And I'm going to put the links to where we found this information below, because remember, we mentioned earlier, not all of these websites are current. I've done pretty deep today, and I'm pretty sure these are the most current as of August of 2022.
Perfect.
Okay, in a second, we're going to come back and do the A13. Okay, let's go on to the next one, which is married. And you want a permanent residency card, also known as an A13 Visa.
Right.
Now, in this one, the kicker is, unlike the SRRV, where you're going to put up a bond, as it were, here you have to prove that you are not going to be a burden on the country. Okay, so if you've got serious medical issues and stuff like that, you might not get the visa. Okay,
right.
You have to prove that you have the financial means to deal with yourself.
Right.
Okay, so I think there's a little bit more scrutiny in this one. The write-up is pretty small on the A13. Basically,
as long as you are married and it is recognized under Philippine law, and then you have financial capacity to support you and your family to live in the Philippines as permanent resident, you're okay, and you have no criminal records.
But it gives no dollar amount, does it? No. Unlike the SSR or SRRV, this has no obligation to prove that you have means.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, as long as you have capacity to, support your family.
Yeah. So where they that might be more of an interview level. We're not sure. The write-up here is so thin that basically it just says if you're married, you want to go. Now, the A13 allows multiple entry. You can come and go as you please. And one of our friends, Hank, you've seen him in some of the videos, the Dutchman, he just flashes his A13 and right on through, because he doesn't need to worry about marriage certificates and all of that type of thing.
Right. Okay. Yeah, because he is traveling alone. He is not traveling with his spouse, his Filipino wife.
Now, the kicker with the A13 is no more immigration fees. Nada. Right. Same with the Balikbayan. No immigration fees. Now, what isn't listed on the Balikbayan, so I'm going to step back a bit, is there a fee to renew your visa for another year and another year, but you do have to leave after 3 years.
Right.
The line I like here is not affected with a dangerous, contagious, or loathsome disease.
That's scary.
Okay, let's get on to the SRRV.
Yeah.
A little bit more complicated, but this is for all you single people out there.
Right.
Or unmarried. SRRV. What does it stand for, Lynn?
Yeah, SRRV is the Special Resident Retirees Visa. It's kind of like, it's a special non-immigrant visa for foreign nationals who would like to make the Philippines as their second home, or if they wanted to invest in the Philippines and stay there.
Yeah, you don't have to nationalize, guys.
Right.
This is like Lynn right now with Canada. She's on a permanent residency visa, but she's not a citizen.
Right.
So I want to touch on two things and get them out of the way rather quickly. You are allowed to import your goods from your native country up to $7,000 US. Remember, everything we talk about here is US dollars. So $7,000. Every once in a while I hear a question about people wanting to bring a car in. So we'll just pause it right there. What can you bring in for $7,000? The other one here is you do get, with the SRRV, you do get the privilege of signing up for PhilHealth, which to me is That's good.
It's
That's
the-
good
yeah,
because it really helps out on those minor visits to the hospital.
right. It's the Philippine Health Insurance, and like there are doctors who are member of PhilHealth. You could get a 20% discount for a consultation, and then hospitals. And if you are a senior citizen, you are entitled to a senior citizen discount plus the PhilHealth discount. So it's a pretty big amount to to be deducted if you have a medical, if you need medical attention or hospitalization.
Now, the wild card in this is the exit tax. So when Lynn came to Canada, or when we went off to Bangkok or other areas, she had to pay an exit tax.
A travel tax.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, depending on how you're coming and going, you may or may not have to pay that tax.
Right.
Okay. So now that you're a permanent resident, they kind of nail you on this other tax
That's right,
if you're going to still do a lot of travel.
But they are exempted for travel tax, though.
Yeah. Now, PRA stands for Philippine
Retirees, what they call this?
Philippine Retiree
Agency.
No.
Philippine Retirees Agency.
Agency. That's okay. Yes, yes. Now, watch out for this website, guys, because if you click on that green banner going across the top, it's about 18 months old. And that's what I'm cautioning you guys about the dates and stuff.
Right.
So here's the kicker with the SRRV. You can apply before you go to the Philippines.
Mm-hmm.
My personal opinion is you don't do that. You have to know the Philippines first, okay? Get to know it. But if you've gone back, and yes, you've decided that you've gone back for a time, you've settled up all your affairs in your native country, and it's time to go, while you're in that process, you can start the SRRV process.
Right.
And they'll send all the paperwork to you and all of that type of thing, and I'm not sure if they get your application underway, but you do have to finish it when you're in the Philippines.
Mm-hmm.
Now, are there reciprocal agreements with some of the countries for the SRRV? There may be, okay? I run into, when I was researching SRRV, my goodness, Canada, Norway, boom, 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 and I stopped looking at it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the very first one is called Srrv Smile. You can prove that you're in very good health. And it looks like a lot of these you're going to have to do a medical exam, okay, guys?
Mm-hmm.
And then you have to deposit with an accredited PRA bank.
Yeah.
So maybe it's BDO, maybe it's Metro Bank. I'm not sure which one the approved ones are.
Right.
But under that one, you have to provide $20,000.
US dollars.
US dollars.
Yeah.
Now, that's 1 million pesos. Now, you know how much I harp on making sure you've got enough money in the Philippines for a medical. There you go. It's forcing you to do that.
Exactly.
So this whole visa program is all about making sure you've got enough money.
You're covered.
In a bank account that they are constantly monitoring.
Mm-hmm.
You can't go dipping into it. Okay? Because over the years, I've heard many people dipping into it and then they have to reapply the whole thing all over again.
That is why it is called PRA accredited banks.
Right.
They are monitoring it.
They're monitoring it.
Yeah.
So be careful about that. The next one is SRRV Classic, which is basically the same thing, except that you're going to buy a condo or something or other to...
An apartment?
Condo, a gated community, something where you don't own the land, but you will be paying a strata fee probably and that type of thing.
So usually it's most probably condos because like condominiums are, foreign nationals are allowed to buy condominiums as well.
Yes, yes. But this is where the SRRV comes in play.
Right. Yeah.
Now, here's the kicker. The new age for all of this stuff is 50 years old, guys, not 30 anymore.
Yeah.
So if you've done your military tour of duty in whatever country you might be, there's a bonus. You guys can get a special visa, but you still got to be 50.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's the way I'm reading all of this right now. Now, if you own that condo, you have to put in $20,000 into an account. Mm-hmm. That's without a pension. If you have no pension, you have to put $20,000 in the bank. So as an example, I'm self-funding my pension right now, so I have no government proof of pension, and therefore I would have to put up $20,000 if I was single.
Right.
If you buy that condominium and everything, $10,000 is what you have to have in a account.
Right.
Okay. So, but also it says here that you need at least $800 per month US as
For a
your
pension.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Now, I'm going to
It's
tell
not
you,
bad.
unless you're managing your currency rates good, you're going to suck.
Right.
$800 is not enough money, in my opinion, to live
Yeah.
comfortably in the Philippines. And I'm talking about comfortably. There are people that could live off grid and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not talking about them. They have another one called the SRRV Human Touch, which is you need, what is it now?
For ailing retirees.
Yes,
Yeah.
if you're up in age and you're ailing a
50
bit,
above. Yeah.
you have to put that $10,000 in the bank, accredited bank again.
Yeah.
But you need a pension of, I can't read that, Lynn.
1,500.
Okay.
If you are a retiree, who needs medical attention or clinical care, like maybe you need a care aide or a caregiver.
Yeah,
So-
you're going to need a little extra money. That's why they bump
Right.
it up. But as you know, I think you need $1,500, somewhere in that neighborhood, to comfortably live and save money in the
Yeah.
Philippines.
Mm-hmm.
So the next one is for all of you guys who have served in armed forces around the world. This one
Right.
here, I'm going to have to read this one. Again, you got to be over 50, served in the military, or with the Philippine government, so that doesn't apply to us.
Right.
You have to have a monthly pension minimum of $1,000 US,
Mm-hmm.
and in a recognized SRRV bank, and be able to maintain a $1,500 US pension.
Right.
Okay. Now, there's also different categories here if you got children, and I'm not going to get into that.
Yeah.
You guys can look it up, because this
Right.
video is getting pretty long.
We are just touching the topic just to give you an overview of what are those,
Yeah.
what are the requirements
So-
of each visas.
So you know that we've been talking a lot about making sure that you save somewhere around 1 million pesos in the Philippines so that you
Right,
have
yeah.
that medical.
Yeah,
They're forcing you to do it with these deposits, right?
exactly.
And so now, if you go into a bank, you open up your bank book, they see that you've got 20,000, and if you have to dip into it, it may kill your visa, but they know you got the money,
Yeah,
so they'll help you.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to be caught in that situation where they've got you've got no way to prove that you've
That's
got money,
right.
and the hospital says, "Well, there's a general hospital down the road."
Right. And you don't like to, you don't want to land in a public hospital. I
No,
tell you.
not as a
it's-
foreigner.
We
You'll lose
Filipinos,
it.
we don't even want it. Like how much more you want a proper medical care. So
Yeah, and
Go
we
for
mentioned
private
earlier in another
hospitals.
video our friend Melissa, whose baby
Right.
became very stressed, and it took something like 12 hours for her to
It's-
get a
yeah.
bed for the baby. Right?
it's very unfortunate. Yeah.
Okay, so anyway, that's a shotgun on the SRRV, the Balikbayan,
And the permanent resident visa,
the A13.
Yeah, A13.
Those first two require marriage.
Right.
Okay, guys, later, Gators.